Okay, so thank you for tuning in first and foremost. If you are wherever you are watching from, I've been wanting to do this. I've been wanting to make these videos. You will see that I post here once in a while because for this channel I just post things that I'm passionate about. I normally talk about things that I'm passionate about, and also a little bit touching all subject. I do talk about business, talk about religion, talk about travels, and times we are in. Because when you look at things that happen all over the world, you are tempted to sometimes comment, and commenting is not bad. It's also sharing what you think about what's happening. Yeah. So I have a lot of friends in Europe, have a lot of friends in the US, I have a lot of friends in Canada and the other parts of the world. So one thing has that I have kept hearing is that those friends have gone broke. I would say they say it's no longer like it used to be. Like they used to have money, they used to have things at hand, but now it seems like the money is not there anymore. So because if you have friends who are living abroad, they haven't sent you something in a while. Like if you had friends a long time ago, they used to send the new phone. They used to send the new special something. Like everyone knew these things from Europe, these things from US, these things from outside, Africa or wherever you are watching from. But it's no longer like that anymore because it's like we forgot about them and we don't even care. So what went wrong? Um, I would say that as time moves, things go changing, and the life becomes harder, and the more especially also grow older. We know how life is in a reality rather than just masking. So long time ago, because there was no this massive social media to show us what's happening every angle of the world anytime. So we used to just cover up. Then if they send you $100, it was amazing. It was an amazing week for you. For any of your relatives sent you $100 back in time, but now it's not anymore. Even if they sent $1,000, unless you are living in the village, if you're living in the village, then if they sent $1,000, maybe it will mean something. But nowadays, it won't even pay rent for 2 or 3 months if you're living in town. So, but back in days, it used to pay big time. It used to buy even a small plot of land. But nowadays, no, not anymore. So, what went wrong? Is it the money that lost the value? Is it life that become difficult? It became difficult. What went wrong? So on my side, it's interesting because I've been connecting dots, been connecting patterns to really understand what's been happening. So it happened is that I also managed to travel to a number of countries across the world in different continents, in different countries, and I have experienced that life myself. Uh, I think in 29 to 2017, I was in China and I was experiencing the booming market of China and the Chinese goods. I tasted the experience myself firsthand. Then to a year later, 1 year later, I was in the USA 2019, and I tasted the American dream. Well, there was a lot of temptations to feel like this is a great country, this is America, I want to stay. But still, with the everything I knew, with everything I experienced, I felt I'm better off than staying in America for long or forever, I would say. Then, past the time, I've been to so many other countries. Uh, RA 2023. 2020, 2022, 2023, something like that. I was in Paris. Paris is the flamboyant city of Europe, because like that's where all the shiny, uh, star-looking, luxury stuff, expensive stuff come from Europe, come from Paris. If it is a designer cloth, it is Paris. If it is a perfume, it is Paris. If it is a nice cosmetic bag, jacket, anything from Paris is among the best. So I personally experienced life in Paris. I was there for 10 days. I traveled to southern France. Well, I won't say that I experienced the actual reality on the ground, because 10 days when you're traveling a lot, it's a little bit different. It is a little bit different if you have stayed there for a number of days. But still, I came to love African more. So, as I have been to all these countries, one thing that I have loved the more and more and more is Africa. Well, like, if we are young and watching this video, you are probably like, oh, what are you talking about? What are you saying? We've been here, for the rest of our lives. We've been here, blah 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 blah. We started here. We have not even had a chance to breathe the air outside of this country. What are you talking about? Like, we have these cousins. They are poor when they were here, and when they left, they are now shining. Let me tell you one thing. Here in Africa, it's hard, or it's difficult to be completely homeless unless you are in a war zone. Unless there are, it is a special case. But if you're a normal child, if you have a normal family, it is very, very difficult to be homeless. That's the truth. If you are not disabled, if you are not having a special case, it's rare, it's difficult to be homeless than it is easy to have a house. So, which is not the case. So, my first time in the US, I was like, wow, this is the country of Hollywood. This is the country everyone sees in the movie. This is the country that has been portrayed to us. This is an amazing country which everyone dreams to live in, the land of the free. Well, I was really happy to be in America, and I enjoyed every bit of it. But my first time in America, I arrived in Atlanta, Georgia, which happens to be the black city. Like, eh, there is a lot of black people in Georgia. So when I came to the migration, I was like, wait a minute, am I in America? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how many black people are living in this country? Because the whole immigration was black, like everything. I was like, wait a minute, like, the America I see in the movies is not this America I'm seeing here at the immigration. So when I got through the checkout, I went to the neighborhood. Like, the neighborhood was, everyone was black, literally. So I stayed there like for 2 months, and I have never seen, even to the church I went to, because every Saturday I went to the church, and there was only one white guy in the whole church. Like, the church was almost full every Saturday, but there was one white guy, and I'm like, what went wrong? Like, what's up with Georgia? So after that, as time went on, I started understanding the history of Georgia, and I visited the neighborhood, the Martin Luther King Jr. Neighborhood, then his house, his mother's house, everything, the culture around the Atlanta. and I came to understand. And the more I kept on digging the information to understand, to seek more understanding about the states, and the more I went on understanding, I realized that there are some states that have a lot of black people, and there are some states that have little to no black people, like the Idaho, like Boise. It was difficult to really see like five black guys walking on the street. So normally it was like everyone was like the white person, white boy. So different states really have different history, and that was why. So, and also life in those states associates to who lives there. So some states have high living standards, and some states have low living standards. And also, some states have high criminal records, and some states have low criminal records. And with those, I was being like immersed in new information that I never knew if I had never been to America. Then, leave alone that, let me go to the streets. Oh my God. First and foremost, like before I went to America, in my vocabulary, I never knew the word homeless. Honestly, I never knew homeless like as a vocabulary. I thought, well, it makes sense because that's someone who never has a permanent place of residence. That's That's a simple English term. But when I went to America, that's when I came to understand like it's real. Like some people don't have a place of residence, and I saw people sleeping under bridges, like real old, mature people with families, some with kids, women with kids, men with kids, sometimes like couples, literally sleeping on the roadside in the tent. And for me being an African from a village, who grew up from a village, there is this mentality, like it's an African mentality. Everyone has it when they are kids. We thought every white person was rich. That was like the village life or the village exaggerations. So me coming from a village and being in America, the greatest country in the world, seeing the homeless people, I could hardly believe it. But it was real. So those are the things that you can never tell to a person who has never been to America or to Canada or these developed countries. You can never tell this story to them and they can comprehend the way it is. They will just, they will just learn an assumption and they will just call it a story. But, and when you come to these homeless people, you speak to them, when you come close to them and they say, what went wrong? Like, how did you end up here? And they will tell you stories. And surprising is how easy it is to be homeless. It is very easy to be homeless than anywhere else. Because like someone who made money, like someone who has been a working nurse for the rest of their life to a point, until they made some small mistakes, then they were return payment of the house, then the landlord threw them outside, then they lived in the hotel, they ended up divorcing, and then being immersed in that stress, they went to find solutions, maybe in alcohols or drugs, and then they end up being addicted, and that's how like they have been living as simple as that. Like a simple story. I remember there's this woman who normally came to the place where I was working as an intern. So this woman who used to come there a number of times, and I spoke to her. I say, "Hey, you look like a good person, but you sound so sad. Like there is a lot of sadness in you. Even when you speak, someone can feel the sadness." They're like, "Oh, really?" Like, yeah. Then I was like, "Would you mind like sharing?" Like I'm open. I asked you why you were sad because I really wanted to hear. So she was really open to tell me, and it is a simple story where his husband went to hike, like those people you see going to hike, climbing rocks, climbing mountains, trekking in the forest. So he was a hiker and a mountain climber. So he went on hiking with his dad. Just slightly after they have been married, like 1 year, they were married like for 1 year. Then it was like the first hike after he was married, and he fell from the rock, from the rock he was climbing. He fell down, and a big rock came following him and hit his palm, and he chopped off his fingers. Like the whole palm was gone. So all the fingers gone. He's now actually it was right hand. So his left hand, even in his left hand, he lost 2 fingers. So he was only having 3 fingers, I think, if I can recall the story. Then, of course, he was taken to the hospital, and when he came back, it was like he was changed. He was a different man. He was rude. He was quarrelsome. He was all the bad things, and he could just get pissed anytime and anyhow, and he couldn't even control his anger. So he had so many frustrations, and he completely changed. So his wife tried to handle the case, but the money was too much. So they decided to separate and sell everything. Even when the woman had a good corporate job, but when they separated, everyone had to go their way. So she was left to go back to her daddy's house, which was a very long distance. So, and just after that, like she lived there for a while, but I think his dad died. Then she was at her own with a lot of frustrations, with a lot of debt to pay, and the divorce was not completely processed. So she was left hanging, like married legally in papers, but no husband, no job, no place of stay, and she was just left there, and she was on the verge of being homeless. Like that's how simple someone can become homeless. So then all those stories, I was like, then why do young people really like suffer to leave their beloved home where they are not homeless to go to a place where they will suffer for the rest of their life or for half of their life? Sometimes they even lose their lives on the way to that imaginary place which never exists in the first place because they have information that is all imaginary information. Like no one has been to these places and knows where they are going. They are all going based on imagination. So that's why I said, let me make this video because a lot of young people, a lot of people who were supposed to develop Africa, a lot of young people are supposed to develop their communities. We leave our communities and they head to these countries that are imaginary in our minds. Because if we knew the reality, no one is going to want to go there. Literally. We're going to want to stay in our own countries. We're going to maybe visit, stay for a while, and head back or do businesses. We do a business here in Africa, we do a business here in America. Then you are always traveling back and forth just because you have businesses. You know, to me, that's good enough reason why any young African should be traveling back and forth or should move to these countries. If you have to move, like move because you are conducting businesses, not because you want to go and live and start wasting a lot of energy and your time trying to survive, even when where you are living, you are already surviving. Yeah. So I I am an entrepreneur myself, and these are a few of my ideas that I would rather start a business, and I want to give 5 businesses that you can literally start with very minimal resources and have high return on investment. Yeah. So, well, much as you may want to go out there, everyone, I guess, wants to go, but it's not a guarantee that you will go. So, since it's not a guarantee, let's just look at these businesses and we call it a day. All right. So, I love agribusinesses. I love agriculture because agriculture is the mother of all sciences. To me, that's how I call it. And agribusiness is simple and can make you a ton of money. So, agent banking as well. Do you know why banks are rich? It's because they are always having cash at hand. So if you do mobile banking or agent banking, you can make a lot of money, just a lot of money with minimal work. And you can have a very wonderful cash flow. And if you want to go to those countries because you already have a wonderful cash flow, no one is going to stop you. If you have a bank statement that has transacted like $1 million in a year, well, it was not your money, but it's your business. Who is going to refuse you to go? Yeah, so that's another business that you can also do. And you can also think about importing if you have Spinny, if you have TikTok and have been looking at these products that are trending on TikTok, you can sit down, try to connect to one of your friends who you think can be able to buy this product easily, or in that country where they're coming from, especially China. Then connect to those people and see how you can import this product in small batches, or you can combine efforts. Then you start importing these products and resell them. Because nowadays it's easy on TikTok. You can just start like the next morning, and yeah, you are big in the next month. So the other business also you can still do if your country uses plastic. Today, it's very easy to recycle plastic, either by collecting, either by shredding it, either by burning it in absence of oxygen and then melting it down, then compressing it into pavements, tiles, and more other products. So today, plastic recycling can be a potential business that you can do anywhere if your country really has a lot of plastic waste. And the other business is also like starting a digital agent, like sharing digital agents. I mean, like my social media management, creating content, and also if you are very good at copywriting, like a lot of people have great ideas, but they don't know how. They can patent or copyright those ideas. Today we have ChatGPT, which you can create a lot of content, you can copyright it, you can be as creative as you can. So having a digital agent can really, really be of a great opportunity. Designing, social media management, content creation, all those things are things that you can sit at home and do and start, and you can earn a lot of money. However, every business has a base. So, well, some business these are businesses that require minimal entry, like they require low capital. So if you don't need a lot of capital to start this business, why can't you start? So, however, you need at least 3-4 months of guarantee about the food, about place of stay. You cannot start these businesses if you are renting and you don't have a source of income. So first of all, you must gather all your efforts, and you must prepare that you are going out there. So once you're going out there, maybe if you have parents, they should understand that you're trying to build something, and they should give you ample time. Because sometimes if you start without telling them, or they are not aware that you're trying to build something, they will also stress you with so many other things like, hey, let's go to the shamba, hey, let's go to the market, hey, let's go to do this, hey, let's go to do that, hey. All those things will really take a lot of your time. So designate this time, 3 to 4 months to 6 months of time of focusing on to building something in these value chains. So one can be waste recycling, digital agents, and then in agribusiness, then import and the retail of goods from abroad. So if you want the details, we'll post an article under this section, or if you see this video, comment, give us more details, and I will give you more details on what you can start and how the return on investment looks like. Cheers. Thank you. See you in another episode.